Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marie. So today I have a different video because my IVF video was very short and I didn't have much to say about that. And I've been working on some other things, but they're not quite ready to record yet or to upload at all. So those will be coming soon, my DIY stuff. But today I am actually wearing my Selena makeup. Isn't this adorable? Look how cute this is. So these are not really my colors. They're pretty and everything, you know, they're most of them are kind of neutral tones, but I was like, I can make it work. So I'm wearing that one, and that one. And you know, I kind of like more of a pink colored neutral look than a brownish one because it gets a little orangey looking on my skin tone. But it was just like, I had to buy this. Selena's sister Suzette has been working with MAC again. This is the second collaboration that they've done. And the packaging, it's freaking adorable. Look at it, it's like the lighting. It's like one of her bras, and then they did that on the highlighter as well. And I normally don't wear highlighter, but it comes with this little I mean, this is like the little plastic protector, but it's a cute little picture of her. And then it's the flower. And if you're unfamiliar with Selena, she had a song in 1992 called Como la Flor, which means like a flower. This picture is actually from 92. And the bra that she's wearing in the picture, that's what the packaging is based off of. So I got this in the mail the other day and I was like, I have to wear this in my videos. And it's just so pretty. And I'm not a highlighter person normally, but I did wear it. I'm not sure if it's going to come out on video, but I just put a little bit on. I was like, it's so pretty. It's kind of, it does have that, like, a lot of highlighters are like kind of clear or kind of purpley, and it's more of a skin tone color. So it blends really nicely with my face. So it's subtle. I can hear my cat at the door. And then I'm also wearing one of her lipsticks. It's so cute. This one's kind of a, like a nude color, and on me it came out a little more pink because I don't have the proper lip liner for it, and I have a mauve lip liner which is a little pinkier, but I like the way it looks. I was like, that's okay, because the original line that came out was based off of her actual makeup, and she's tan and I am not. I have pink undertones and not yellow, so most of the colors didn't look good on me. They were very pretty in the package, but they were too yellow for my skin tone. So I didn't buy all of the makeup or use it all either. When I did buy it, I tried it out and I was like, ooh, that's not my color. But this time the colors do work a little better for pasty people. So I appreciate that. The other day I did a video on things that I use around my house that I like products. And I thought I could do that again today because I did leave a bunch of things out. The first one is this. It's the lighting. Sorry, the lighting is bad. So it says tea tree oil foot spray. And it also has mint and cucumber in it, and aloe, or mint and aloe. Yeah. I have contacts in, but I'm like, I'm getting old. So every once in a while, my feet will smell really bad. It's not a daily basis thing, but hormones change. And like when I was pregnant the first time, I was sitting there and I crossed my leg, and I wasn't very far along, so I could still do that. And my foot smelled horrible. I was like, oh my God. And then after my dad had died, I was taking some medication for depression, and that changed my hormones I can't talk. My hormones as well. And I was in college at the time, and I was sitting at my computer and I was doing my homework, and I put my foot up. I'm like, whoa, just horrible. Like when people make fun of men, how they have their feet stinking, that's what my feet were like. I was like, wow. So I got this, and my feet right now are fine. They don't smell like that, but you just spray it on your foot and it does tingle a little bit. It's kind of cold, but then your foot doesn't smell, and it's amazing. I put it on, I let it dry, and then I put my sock on, and I go, and at the end of the day, my feet are fine. They don't smell bad. And you can use it kind of like if it's like you're still walking around like in the middle of the day and you're like, wow, I can kind of smell my feet. You just use it again, you know, like a refresher kind of in the middle of the day or something. Or if you're a morning shower person and you don't want to take a shower at night, put it on before you go to bed. Then when you wake up in the morning and your feet haven't smelled all night long and you can sleep. So it's a really awesome product if you have the occasional foot odor issue or a regular foot odor issue. So I do like it. The next thing is kind of two products in one. So I saw this on another channel. My cousin uses these. They're wool dryer balls. And I was just like, you know, I like my stuff to smell nice. So I like the dryer sheets because it gives it a nice smell and then it takes away the static. And here in Georgia, the static is insane here. Everything has static. So I didn't really like these dryer balls. And then I had the plastic one. I tried those and it didn't work either. Everything was still really staticky. The plastic one helps things dry faster, but it wasn't helping with static. So somebody suggested you take the dryer ball and then you take, this is a, it's not really focusing well. So it's an essential oil. And the reason I bought this specific one is because it comes with a dropper already. So you just take the dropper, you squeeze and you fill it, and then you put it into the ball, and it's wool, and it just sucks it up. And I put it around in a couple places, and then it smells so pretty. I love citrus smells and lemon. I have really bad allergies, and lemon is a smell that doesn't bother me, and it smells so nice. I can't do lavender. Most of the most of the scents that people talk about, like lavender and stuff like that, they make me want to sneeze. I smell them, I'm like, oh no. Or they give me a headache, and I'm just like, get away from me. So citrus smells, I'm okay with those, so I got lemon. And I've been drying my clothes with this for like a week, and it doesn't give it like the dryer sheet smell where it's like you smell it, it's like, oh, that's Downy Fresh. It's not that strong, but it does give it a nice fresh lemon, like a slight scent where it's not overpowering. And you know, sometimes people have too many scents going on with all their clothes and their perfumes and body sprays and stuff. Sometimes people, you're like, they walk past you, you're like, oh my God, it's overwhelming. This is very subtle, and I like that. So that's something that I've been trying to, excuse me. I've been trying to use things that are reusable instead of like the sheets where you just throw it away, you use it once and then it's garbage. And I've been trying to incorporate more of that in my life. And I don't do it like where I'm just going to make a list of everything. This chair, sorry, it's squeaking so much. I'm not going to make a list of everything in my life and be like, okay, I'm getting rid of all these things and bringing all these new products in that are reusable. That's overwhelming. So what I do is 2 or 3 things a year. And this is one of them for this year. And that way I can integrate it in and get used to it and be like, okay, this is just a part of my life now. I'm used to it. Now what's the next thing that I can change out and stop using that's not reusable? So that brings me to my next item. This is something I mentioned in my last video, but I didn't show you guys. So it's this little cotton pad replacement. It's like velvety on this side, and then this side is like a terry cloth. So when I'm going to take my makeup off, I put my micellar water on here, and I use the terry cloth side first because it is kind of scrubby. It's soft, but it's not velvety soft. So I'll do that, and then I'll wipe my eyes down, and I use a couple of them. It's not just like one for the entire face unless you don't have really anything on. But I'll use a couple, and I'll like wipe it off, and then I'll flip it over to the velvety side, and then I use that to like get anything. Sometimes, you know, you wipe it off, your eyeliner, mascara end up underneath, and then I kind of clean it up. And I use a bunch of them, as many as I need to get all my makeup off. Then I wash my face because this just removes makeup. It's not a face cleanser. And then it comes with this little bag, and I just wash them so they're all clean. And you just throw the dirty one in here, and you zip it up, and you throw it in the wash. And it cleans it really well, especially because the micellar water is to remove makeup. So it's already, like I do rinse them before I put them in here. to get as much of the makeup off as possible, but it's, you know, it washes really, really nicely. So I still do have cotton pads because sometimes like taking nail polish off, or when I'm doing my makeup, I use Q-tips or I use a cotton pad. You know, if I get like makeup down here, to like remove it before I do the rest of my makeup. I always do my eye makeup first, because if you have fallout underneath, like if it's mascara or the eyeshadow, it gets over here, I can just use a cotton pad, wipe it away, or use a the Q-tip and just kind of get in there and clean it up, and then put the rest of my makeup on, and then I don't have to worry about, you know, oh, I just did all this makeup and then I have to remove what's fallen on top of something else. It's just my skin. So it just makes it, for me, I think it just works better. So one of those little bags, I have a big version of it. And this is something that I had on my Amazon wish list, and my husband gave it to me for Christmas, I think, or it was our anniversary. It was either last year or the year before. I think it might have been our anniversary. We gave each other like a $50 budget for a gift, and he just bought a bunch of little things on there that I had on my list, and I was like, ooh, I was really happy to get this. My grandma used to use something very similar. Hers was like a looser weave. It was more like an eyelet kind of weave, and this one it's very like, I mean, it's see-through, but it's a little thicker. So what you do is you throw your bra in here, and this is pretty big, so you can, well, I can fit 2 bras in here. Other people will probably fit like 4. And then you just throw this in the wash, and that way you don't have to hand wash your bras. And this keeps it from the hooks, like you can hook them, but they come apart while they're washing. And this keeps the hooks from grabbing onto other things and making a hole. Like if you throw a sweater in there and you throw everything in on delicate, and you have like a nice knit sweater, and then the little hook on the bra gets in there and then pulls it out while it's washing, you're like, oh. And it's really funny. I remember my grandma using one of these, and I just never used one. I didn't really care that much. But when I got bigger, it was like, these things are ridiculously expensive. When you're paying like $20 or less for a bra, you're like, I don't care. But then when you get bigger and they're like $60, you're like, that's 3 bras for one. It's like, really? And I try to buy them on sale, but still, sometimes you need one and they're not on sale. So you can pay a lot of money for them. So this has helped out a lot. And it came in a pack of like 3 or 4 of them. So I have a bunch of them. So I can wash a lot of things. And you can also put other delicate things in here as well that you don't want to get loose, or like, especially in the dryer, like if you have like cashmere socks disappear all the time. You can throw them in this thing. And when you throw them in the dryer, they dry together. It dries well in this, and you have everything all together. So the next item is female must-have. If you have curly or wavy hair and you want to blow dry it all the time, and you can do this with straight hair as well, but typically straight hair, you don't have to blow dry it straight. You just kind of blow dry it to get it dry. So this is by Revlon. So there's a bunch of like knockoff versions on Amazon. And this one I got on Target.com. I saw it online and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Because I'm not going to touch my hair, fix my hair, because I did style it and it's not holding up well today. But my hair is naturally curly, and it used to be a lot longer, and I got to the point where I was just like, oh, it got annoying. And I saw this and I started using it, and my drying time went from like a half an hour to 10 minutes or less. And I was like, wow, now with my hair this short, 5 minutes. And I don't have to use my flat iron as much. I still do use it a little bit, but a lot of times it's because in the back, I'll be lazy when I'm doing it, because you just go like this and you just brush under. And the way I do it is probably not how you're supposed to, but it's just fast. And I start underneath and I just turn it and I go all the way up, and it dries and smooths and straightens all at the same time. And then I do this side and I do that as well. And then I get to the back, and I have a cowlick right here. That's why I part my hair on this side. So it kind of masks that I have a big cowlick right there, because I used to part my hair on this side when I was younger. And then it would lay all nice and flat here, and then I'd have this giant bump right here, and it looked weird. So I started parting my hair there to kind of hide it. But I'll go in the back, and then when I get to the top part here, I go this way because I want to kind of flatten that, because it's not as bad as, I think that little kid is alfalfa where it sticks straight up. It's not that bad, but it gets bad. So, and then I'll go from underneath and I'll get up to a midpoint, and then I kind of do it sideways. And it just so fast. And this gets really, really hot, and it works like a flat iron, which is great. And so the knockoff versions that I saw on Instagram, they do sell them on Amazon as well. I was like, wow, you know, it's like $20 less. I'm like, it looks just like it. Well, the videos and Instagram, if you look at them, it'll say Revlon right there. They show it and there's nothing there when they show a picture of the item. But the videos, when they're spinning it, you'll see Revlon. You're like, wow, they don't even, their marketing department's like, let's just go on YouTube or Instagram and find videos of people using it. It's not even their own video. It's like, wow. So the knockoff version is pretty nice. I did buy one because last year when I was in California, I didn't take this with me, and I regretted it. After like a week and a half, I was like, oh, my hair is taking forever to do every day. It was just like, oh. So I was like, okay, I'm going to buy one. I'm going to get the knockoff because it is cheaper, and I was trying to not spend too much money. So I'll tell you some of the differences, because I left it in California. My friend, I left it with her. So I'm like, next time I come visit, I won't have to bring it with me when I travel. And so I'll just show you some of the differences. So the handle part right here, when I hold it, my thumb fits on there. So I can spin it, and I can do this really easily. It's big enough that I can grip it. I can just hold the whole thing with my hand. The knockoff one is wider, so it actually comes here across more, and it's lower. So it has this very similar look to it, but it's like not as tall. So you have to use your fingers like this instead of holding it like that. That's kind of annoying because my finger would slide off and hit the side here. And this is hot. You burn yourself. It's like, oh, right away. So I would end up doing kind of like this and like spinning it. It just, that part was kind of annoying. And then this part here, where it comes down, it just came straight down. It didn't have this extra like security thing to keep it from fraying and stuff like that. And then this part was just a straight plug. It didn't have this on it at all. So that was the differences. It was $20 cheaper, so I can see where they cut the cost. It's very obvious. And I don't think it was as strong. It still worked really great and was fast. It just, this one I feel like it was a little stronger. So this one, if you have like 50 bucks, it's a great blow dryer. I love it. And I don't have like, I didn't use my flat iron to smooth the rest of my hair. It just came out real nice and smooth. And any other time I would blow dry my hair, no matter what, I would have to use a flat iron after. And I still use my flat iron now, but it's just to make my curls, because otherwise my hair, I need a haircut like most people. But I'm not going to go and protest about it with a sign because I'm not stupid. So I'm going to just stay home and I curl it to kind of hide the fact that I need a haircut. So I love this product. Now going into the kitchen, this is a silicone sponge. Now it looks like it looks kind of scrubby because it has all these little bristles. It's really not that scrubby. Like I'll do a little video and I'll insert it over while I'm talking right now. It scrubs a little bit, but it's not a replacement for green scrubby. This doesn't work as well, but you put your soap in here, you get it wet, and you wipe your pan off or whatever you're doing, and it does a much better job than a regular sponge, and it doesn't smell. So we have this little basket that we hang in the middle of our sink because we have like a double sink, which I don't like. I've never had that before. I've always had one sink, and it's really annoying. I'm so used to just one big sink. So we got this little basket and we hung onto the smaller side of the sink, and I put my regular sponge in there, and I would just use those things. And the sponge, after like a week, it would start to smell really bad. Even though it was sitting there drying, it just, the smell was terrible. And then, you know, I'd do the dishes, and if I didn't wear gloves, my hands would smell really bad. Even after washing them, it was like, oh, it's gross. So we got one of these. It came in a pack of 3. We were at Home Goods. My husband came with me. I think he came with me to stop me from buying stuff because Home Goods is my new obsession. I'm like, Target is nice, but Home Goods is better. And he's just like, stop buying stuff when you go there. I'm like, but they have really cool stuff. So he was with me, but we were wandering around and we got some cutting boards and he saw this and he's like, well, that looks interesting. And I'm like, you know what? I've been wanting to get these because I've seen them on the internet and I'm like, I want to try this. And it's a sponge, not a scrubby, but it's a very, really good alternative to sponges. And it lasts longer than a sponge too. And it doesn't smell. So I like anything that doesn't make my kitchen smell weird. So these are cool. They come in different sizes too. This is just kind of a small one. So, but it works. It fits in my hand. It's big enough and it's very flexible. Okay. Next kitchen item. I probably should have unboxed it before. We ordered a bunch of these to take to our in-laws. Well, my in-laws, his sister and his sisters and his mom at Christmas. And then we realized we can't bring scissors on the plane. It's like a knife. So we ended up not sending them back. And so we have a bunch and we're like, well, at some point we'll have to give somebody a gift and we'll have one. So it's this, they're herb scissors. So you can put like cilantro. People like cilantro. I personally don't. It tastes like soap to me. So I don't eat it. But basil or whatever. And you just put it there and you just cut it. And it's so much better than chopping because it's fast and it's great. And you get these nice little tiny pieces. And I've used it for artichoke as well. I was making a spinach artichoke dip and I bought the artichokes. They're like in a jar and they're wet. They're really, really wet and they're just huge. And I just took it and I just cut them. And because they're so soft, it just cut really well. And it does get a little messy. So it does come with this and you just put it in there and you can go like that to get it through. And then also this thing, you can also put it in there and like it gets any pieces that are stuck and just pulls it out. And then it also protects it if you put it in the right way, when you put it in your drawer so you don't stab yourself. And I had been wanting to get these forever. And my husband's always like, he sees my Amazon list and he's like, no. And it's just stuff that I'm like, in the future, maybe. But one day he was like, I wish we had scissors to just cut this. I'm like, they do. And so I showed him, he's like, ooh, get that. So he was happy too. And we've both been using them. And the one we had actually didn't come with this. It just came with this part, which worked fine for us. So they're awesome. They're definitely worth, I think it's like $15 because we've given them to 3 different people since we got them. And we have 3 sets downstairs that we're just waiting for somebody to be like, oh, come to our housewarming, or hey, it's my birthday. We're like, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, whatever. And yeah, so that's something that we like. Okay, so now for something that I don't like. We bought this, I want to say like 4 or 5 months ago, and we thought it was going to be a good thing. What it is this herb holder. You put it on the inside of your door, herb or spice, whatever rack kind of thing, and it's not cooperating now. So you just clip it on there, and it's got the sticky thing here, and you just kind of measure where you want it. And I pre-measured to make sure that I could do 2 rows and they wouldn't touch each other and that I could close the door. But after like 2 weeks, it's plastic and it doesn't really have much, it opens and everything, but it doesn't snap back at all. It has no memory. So it just gets stretched out. And with the plastic bottles, it worked fine, but we have a lot of these, the glass ones, and they're heavy because they're glass. So it fits on there, but it does not stay. And right now, this one is an extra one. It came in a pack with like 3 white ones and 3 black ones. And since our cabinets are white, we use the white ones. So this one right now is holding because it's brand new. It's just been in a cupboard that we had. But after like a week, it's going to fall. Like every time I open that door to get a spice, one of them falls, and I'm just like, oh. And it's typically a plastic one that ends up falling, and then when I close it, the glass ones will fall. So at least they're not breaking on my counter, but that is definitely a product that I don't recommend. We have to find some other option. We were talking about getting, they have like these little cans that are magnetic, and you just put a magnetic strip and you just stick the can. But then it's like you have to take this out and dump it into another thing. So we're trying to not use more products. And since, you know, you can't just go to the store and refill your own bottles, we were like, well, that's just kind of a waste. But now we're like, maybe that might be the option for us, because I don't want to have them on the counter. I want to keep them in the cupboard. But this, it's a crappy product. Only if you have plastic ones. That's the only time, if you buy all your spices that are plastic. I think that's the only way it's going to work. And it only kind of works for, I didn't bring a plastic bottle. The plastic ones that are like this, we have some other ones that are short, but they're a little wider, and it fits in there, but it's like really difficult to get it in and out. And because I keep pulling that one small one in and out, it stretched it and it's not really holding. So I had to move it to another location, and they're just bad. So my next item is a laminator. This is an office product that I bought like 4 or 5 years ago, and I've had it that long. It's been a few years. It's not like a brand new thing or something I got a couple months ago. And it's so simple to use. I have insomnia. I go through bouts of it. So it was like 2 in the morning. I was up and I was just like so bored. I'm like, I have some extra cash. I'm going to go on to Staples and look for some items that I could use in my office, because I had started my own business. I'm a graphic designer, if you didn't know. And I was just like, you know, maybe I could find something cool that I don't have. And I did. They had some kind of weird, it's 2 a.m. and you're awake sale. And I'm like, perfect. So I got it for, I want to say $50. Normally they're like $150. And this was a few years ago, so they're probably a little cheaper now, but I was very excited. And you just get these little plastic things, and it looks like this, but once it's heated, it turns clear. And then you get your piece of paper. It's just so simple, and you put it in there, and you just make sure it's as far up to the top as you want and centered as best you can. If you want it over to one side, you can do that. If you want it, you know, however you want to center it. It doesn't have to be this size either. It could be smaller. And I don't have it plugged in, so I can't really, and I don't really want to laminate just this one piece of paper, but you just put it in there. Once you turn it on, oh, also it has 3, 4, and 5 millimeter setting, and that's important to know. This is 5 millimeter, no, I'm sorry, this is 4 millimeter paper, or plastic, sorry, laminate. I know these words. I don't know why. When I go to talk, I forget basic English. It's like, and then later on I put it on the bottom of the screen because I'm like, I can't remember that word, and I'm talking, and then I just kind of skip over it, and I'm like, I can't believe I forgot that. So, you know, once you turn it on, it'll turn red up here on this little light, and you just stick it in, and it just automatically pulls it through. It feels that it's there. It has like a little sensor, and then it comes out the back, and you want to make sure that there's nothing behind it, so it does come out and lay flat, because it's very hot when it first comes out, and it cools down very quickly. But if it gets pushed, like if there's something right here, it will bend, and it will kind of cool with a bend in it. So you have to be careful about having nothing behind it. And then if something happens, there is this release right here. I've had things kind of get stuck in there. Like I laminated too many things at one time, and it was like, I need a minute. And I was like, I don't care, I'm busy. And then I like had to laminate one page again and press this button to get it to come out. And it like reverses it and spits it back out the front, and was like, oh, so you can, you know, overwork it. But this has been an awesome thing. Since we moved here, I've actually used it a few times. I'm not working as much as I was before because I don't know anybody here, and I still have my clients from when I was in California, but I haven't built any new business here, so I'm not as busy, but I used it for home things. I made these little signs, which I probably should have grabbed one, but I just printed out, I'm not good with crafts, like DIY things, as much as I am with computer graphics. But I drew, instead of painting like a little board from Michael's or something, because my handwriting is terrible and I need one of those Cricuts. I would have been able to do it with wood if I had a Cricut, but they're very expensive and they haven't had one of those crazy midnight sales at Staples. So I drew this like kind of old-fashioned looking sign, and then I wrote bathroom and then baño and bains, les bains or something like that in French, because that's all the languages my husband and I speak. And like my little nephew came to visit and he speaks English, but you know, he also speaks Spanish. So I was like, it would be kind of nice to have something in that. And then when his parents come to visit, they speak French. So, you know, our house is it's not huge where you're going to get lost, but if you haven't been here before, you might not know where things are. And there's a bunch of doors and it's like, well, which one is the bathroom? So the bathroom and the laundry room are right next to each other. So, you know, I put the little sign on there just to kind of be cute. And then I put one downstairs on the bathroom there as well. So people, when they're wandering around, there's two doors next to each other. There's a bathroom and a closet. So it's like, well, this one is the bathroom. And then I laminated it. So it didn't, you know, it's not just one thin piece of paper just sitting there, you know, with double-sided tape. So it just made it look a little nicer. It's shiny, and I kind of wanted a more of like an old-fashioned wood look, and they're not shiny, but you know, I don't have a Cricut to like print out the words and make it pretty because my handwriting is really bad. So the last thing is this, it's an S hook. Mine is plastic. I had some metal ones. I bought them at IKEA, and I also bought like a dresser at the same time. And I think that they got in the box of the dresser when I was unpacking everything from the dresser to put it together. And I think I threw them away because I could never find them again. And my husband had these plastic ones when he moved in with me. So I took a couple of them because I was like, oh, he had more than he needed. And I'm like, I could use some of those. So I have this thing on my sink in the bathroom, and I think it's supposed to be for like makeup and stuff, but I keep all my little hair things in there and it spins, and that way I don't have stuff everywhere. It's not super organized. Well, I could do a better job on that, but it keeps it in one place. So it's much nicer than hair ties everywhere. So I hang it on the side of the basket, and then I put my hair ties here, and usually I have a lot more, but I just have two because they would fall while I'm doing this. And, you know, I pull my hair in a ponytail and then I throw it on here before I go take a shower or whatever. And then in the bathroom, I also have them as well. We have a little corner basket, and it has a little bar on the bottom to put like a washcloth, but we use puffs instead of a washcloth. So you just hang the puff from here as well, and it keeps it in a place where it can get dry easily. These come in metal, and they come where this part here is not so round. It's like a little flatter, so you have a thinner place to hang it on. It's a little more secure, but these are great. You can use them all over the place. If you want to put them in your closet and hang a purse off of it or a scarf or something, they come in various sizes. So if you're like, you know, I have like a bar or something, but I don't know what to do with it, get some S hooks. You could hang a lot of things off of these. So that is actually all the products I have now. I'm not going to be like, oh wait, there's more. So I say so too much. I'm really sorry. I've really been trying to work on that. I cut a lot of those out when I'm editing. I say so, and then I go into my thing. I'm like, okay, where's the so in the, because I can see the voice thingy. I don't know what it's called. That goes up and down. I'm like, cut, and then I smush it together. So then I just start talking because I realize I say that way too much. Anyways, that's it for this video, and I will see you guys soon. Like, subscribe, click the bell thingy, whatever, if you want to. If you don't, that's okay. So see you guys.